That's good. Start over?
No, just keep going.
Okay. Well, I watch these all the time, and I love watching them and hearing people's experiences. So he's right here, by the way, in my arms, and you can't see him. At least that's what I was told.
Yes. We had never done a home birth before, and this is our third child. We didn't know if it was a boy or girl right away from the get-go. We didn't have any ultrasounds to find out if it was a boy or girl, because Nikki wanted to have it at home. So I feel like this was a nice first for us, but we didn't really know what to expect going into the process of having the baby because we've just never done it before.
Yes.
My parents had several children as home birth, so I was familiar with what happened, what was going on, but obviously never my own child. So,
well, I'm gonna tell it like in chronological order what happened a little bit, and I wanted Ben here because I like when the dads give their point of view, because women are very much like in their own little world, kind of when they're in contractions. So I don't really know kind of what happened when, especially. So anyway, he was born on the 5th and
of July 2014.
Yes.
His name was Leaf. I'm interjecting. Sorry. Please continue.
That's okay. And the 5th was the day, one day past my due date, or estimated due date, which has never happened to me before. That was kind of interesting for me because it's like every day is a new due date, kind of.
Yeah.
But it was also like kind of discouraging. But still, it was fine. Like, I knew it would be fine. It just seemed like long at the time. But that night we had a really good friend of ours have a wedding, and our families, both sides of our families, were invited, and Ben was gonna go, and I was gonna go.
We were like 10 minutes to having me go, and I was like, look, like, if you're gonna have another contraction in the next like 5 minutes, I'm not going. And she was like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna have the baby before the wedding happens. And like, not even as soon as she was done talking, had the contraction.
Yeah,
because like, I am not going anywhere.
Because I have my body has a bad habit of not contracting when I'm laying down or sitting, and I started having some that morning, and I was all excited, and they totally like went away. And at 3 o'clock they started, and I was like, oh, it's probably nothing. I've been contracting for the last like week at least, if not 2 weeks, randomly. But then they were like getting stronger, and my sister came over and was trying to talk to me, and I realized I couldn't really concentrate on what she was saying because they were kind of hurting, and I had to like go outside and deal with them for a little bit and then come back inside. And that's when he's like, I think these are for real. You don't really, like, you really look like you're in pain, which was true. They actually kind of hurt.
Yeah, and at the point we were at, pretty much all of our families, everybody that was going to watch August in Britain, because this all started around when?
I started at 3. I didn't really say anything until like, you were going to leave for the wedding at 5. So, yeah, you said that, and then you're like, okay, you had a contraction really quickly. I'm not going to the wedding. But I have 12, like, my last labors were 12 and 15 hours, so I'm like, we got time.
Yeah, they took a lot longer. I mean, I just never seen you having contractions that close together, that strong,
Yeah.
and like...
But I still wasn't hopeful that it would be that much shorter. I was still like, you guys go to the wedding. By the time, you know, you get back, I might be in, like, maybe transition, maybe active labor. Like, it'll be fine. The wedding was like an hour and a half away, or 2 hours away.
Yeah, it was about an hour and a half away.
That was like...
So there's no way that we were going to be able to get anybody back from the family to watch the boys.
That was the, like... Yeah, we weren't really sure. Well, all of our family went. And my mom, my mother-in-law, and my one sister was supposed to be at the birth. So they all left. Let's see, what happened then? I think...
So then we had your sister, who was still in the area, and she was going to come over anyway, apparently. She had something happen, she couldn't go to the wedding.
I have 3 sisters, okay, so this is one of them. She didn't finish a chore in time and was going to go to the wedding, but she didn't finish this chore.
Sorry, I wasn't going to bring that up.
Well, it's okay.
But she decided that she must.
Well, that's why she ended up coming over, and it was really, like, totally orchestrated.
It was. If it wasn't, if she wouldn't have been there, we would have been in so much trouble. I would have been watching August in Britain the whole time, and I remember thinking, like, okay, like, take the boys, go play outside. I was like, what you got here? Just take them. I was like, I don't know if the baby's going to come soon. I was like, please just take them for us. And she was really great. She really helped a lot.
Yeah, she totally just took him, and I didn't see him until right after he was born.
Nikki had no... You were pretty much oblivious.
Yeah.
You were just like right over there and totally out of...
Yeah. If you saw the one video, I think you had like me and maybe one contraction in that video. I don't remember what one that one's called. But I was pretty much in that position like...
The whole time.
Pretty much whole time. Unless I was like in the bathroom, I was back in that position. For some reason, that just felt like I could deal with it better like that. So yeah, my sister came, took him, and then it was, I don't know, you're telling me with the times. I think it was like 6 or 6:30. Or 6, I think we took. I was like waiting until like 3 hours into contractions to like tell my midwife.
Yeah, but I ended up texting the midwife at like 5:36, and I was like, her contractions are pretty close. Like, you were in the bathroom. I was like, she's not going to tell me to call the midwife. I was like, I am getting hold of the midwife.
Yeah. So. And then, like, a minute later, she's calling me going, Nikki, you don't text me when you're in labor. You call.
You were probably like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's like, I texted.
I did it.
So, yeah, she pretty much just asked me what's going on. I told her they're coming really close together. They're intense, but I don't know, it might be a long time yet. And like, I think I must have had like 1 or 2 while I was talking to her. She was like, I'm gonna come over right now. I'm like, okay, whatever. She lives, you know, a good half hour away, because I think she was here like 6:30. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think that's when I stopped looking at the clock on purpose. I was like, I don't want to see how long or how fast this is going. It's more like how long. So then she came pretty quickly, I think, yeah?
Yep. It was about a half hour.
I don't really remember. This is when it gets kind of hazy.
So then when she got there, I remember helping her bring stuff in from the vehicle, and she was trying to ask me, you know, how many minutes apart the contractions were, and I was like, well...
I never time
they're coming really fast. Like, this is abnormal. I don't know. So I was like, yeah, just come in and talk to her, because, I mean, they're coming pretty strong. I mean, she's getting pretty strong. She hasn't really said much. She wasn't. Nikki, you were like, you were just focused, and like, you couldn't do anything except for like, have the contractions. Yep. And I was just running everywhere. I was like, pads, food, water. Do you want some water? Do you want this? Do you want, want some cold water? And I was like, okay, now I have to get a hold of everybody, because now she's probably going to have the kid. So then the midwife came in.
I think either she called the assistant right then when she saw how many I was having close together, or she checked me first.
Because she saw you having the contractions then, because you were having them so fast.
Yeah, so she just called. I remember her saying to her, like, calling her assistant saying, come over right now, and that was pretty much the end of the conversation. And then she asked me, because I didn't really want to get checked at all. I kind of just want to wait for the urge to push. And she was like, well, it seems like labor is like pretty progressed. I want to check you to see if we have enough time to set up the birth pool, because I kind of wanted a water birth, but it wasn't like set on it. Like, I didn't really want it that bad. Mm-hmm. But I thought it'd be kind of a cool experience, and they say it helps with the pain. So, and it came with her fees too. She like brought the pool, which was really cool. So at that point, like, I feel like every mom's kind of like this, but I was like, sure, whatever. I don't care right now.
And she was pretty much saying like, we're not going to have time to set this up. Yeah,
she's like, you're 7.5. She's like, it takes a good, like, hour and a half to set it up. She's like, I personally don't think we have time, but we can try. Mm-hmm. And I was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't
really care. So funny because she didn't really say anything to the midwife, because she was like, her contractions were good, so she was like, listen. And then she'd be like, oh my God. And I'd be like, okay, like, that's fine. Just, we're going to have to do it that way. Like, I don't have time.
Because I don't know, I don't want to say no, and then it would go forever, and I would say...
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know what to say. Anyway, I know she told me later that, like, she was like a half an hour later after she checked me, I think she said, was when my water broke. And then she was like, yeah, we don't have time for sure. Because I was just thinking about going out and getting the pool, and then all of a sudden I hear this big gush of water. I never had my water break like that before. It was like the Hollywood gush. I don't know. It was pretty dramatic, but it was clear, and I was really happy about that. But at that point, the contractions were like really getting painful, and I was like really nervous that they would get even more painful because usually that happens when the baby's head like is right on the cervix then. But they didn't. Like they got kind of weird after that. Like they were a little more irregular. They weren't quite on top of each other, and they were kind of different in intensity too. And I think, I don't know when the assistant came actually. I don't know when she got there.
She was there pretty soon after. I mean, I think it was probably at least 7:30 at least.
Okay. Like I said, I had stopped looking at the clock, so.
So that was kind of odd just to see you not in the bedroom and trying to figure out what you wanted to do, because I couldn't tell if you were comfortable or not, and you weren't really able to tell me. No. So in that case, it was kind of harder because I just didn't know. And you were moving in all these positions, and I was like, I mean, I guess this is good because at least you're finding somewhere that's comfortable, but I didn't know what to take you in there. And the midwives were really good. I think they knew that she was just trying to find, we were trying to find your comfortable spot.
Well, right after my water broke and I realized like the contractions were like getting kind of weird, I was like, no, I want the baby out now. Like, this needs to like hurry up and get to the, I was trying to feel like the pushing urge. I was waiting for that to happen, so I was like trying different positions to get like maybe the baby just needed to move down the pelvis, so I was like maybe I should get off my knees and
so she
change
switched
position a little bit more.
She switched to her back, and then she was laying down here, and you were all over the place.
Yeah, well, I tried squatting, and then they were trying to hear the baby's heart tones, and I don't know exactly how she put it, but she was saying something like, we can't get a good read of it. How about let's try laying on your side on this couch? And like, mind you, everything's in plastic. Like, everything is draped in plastic. Our whole living room floor is draped in plastic. So everyone's like, And I'm like, no, believe me, it was really not that big of a mess as it sounds. But anyway, when I was here on my side, like, the contractions really hurt when I was on my side right here.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's like, well, let me just check to see where you're at. She's like, well, you're dilated to a full 10. Like, there's no cervic lip or anything. She's like, and we still can't, I don't know if she said they couldn't find the heart tone or they couldn't get a good read of it, or was
Yeah, I could tell they were getting just a little, I don't want to say nervous, because they did a really great job, but you could tell that they just knew that the baby needed to come out. Because
they couldn't get a good read on it anyway, or it was worrying them. Because they usually, like, the heart tones descend when it gets that low in the pelvis, like ready to push, but it still should have some, I think, raise to it or something, so I don't know if that's what they were hearing, but then they were like, I want you to just push. So just push even without, because I wasn't really feeling like the real urge, like where your whole body's doing it and I couldn't stop it. So I was really waiting for that, but she was like, I kind of just want you to push. We kind of need to get him out now. Well, we didn't know it was a boy yet.
Yeah, right. So at this point I was like, okay, I was starting to feel the urge from them, just sort of the, general, feeling that we need to get this baby out now. We never had a birth with this few of us here. I mean, there was nobody else here but us.
Yeah, I've always had a lot of people. So anyway, then she was like, because I really wanted to squat, that was giving me kind of the urge to push, and she's like, well, baby doesn't seem to like that position so much. Try hands and knees. So I ended up, okay, so I really feel stupid, I can't remember this, but I remember her telling me to put my leg up, like on one side. They call it the runner's start, like, position, and I think I may have birthed him in that position, but I really can't remember.
You're on your hands and knees.
I know it was on my hands and knees, but I remember at one point she told me to put one of my legs, like, up higher. I think that was when the body was being born. But anyway, she was just like, okay, push, 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 like, even without a contraction. And that was, like, really hard work. Like, when your body's not helping you do it too, it was, like, really hard work.
Yeah.
And I was so afraid I was going to tear. I was so afraid because it really felt like I was going to, and I really didn't want to.
And the midwife was worried that she was
going to. Yeah, and I kept saying, like, Pam, I just don't want to tear. So I kept, like, pushing, but, like, doing really short pushes because I was trying to give my, like, perineum time to stretch. And she was like, I know, honey, I know, I'm trying to help you. And I could feel, like, hot compresses and olive oil. Like, she was trying really hard to, like, help me not tear too. And when he, like, came out, I was like, oh my gosh, he feels huge. Like, he's got to be at least 8 pounds.
She was so fast. The baby came out in, like, I feel like it was 6 or 7 pushes. And maybe I'm saying a lot shorter than it really was, but it was really fast. You were pushing for maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, I felt like it was
Which
a long
was
time.
so fast for us. Like, usually we'd be pushing, wasn't August like 2 hours?
Almost 2 hours, but that's our first baby. And Britain was like 20 minutes, so...
I was just so happy I started laughing and, like, crying at the same time.
He's, like, going from my head to, like, you know, my other side where the baby's coming out.
And I was just like, oh my gosh.
Like, going, it's like almost
it's here. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was so happy. And like, I was just so relieved because you could tell it needed to come out.
Yeah. Because like, with Bryn, I was like crying because I like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. But this time I was kind of worried because of them not getting good heart tones. So I could tell he was like blue, but that's kind of normal when they first come out sometimes.
Yeah.
And they were like rubbing him and praying over him, and I heard a couple little slaps on his butt or whatever.
They were really good.
And I heard him like start crying really pretty soon actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, Ben, what is it? What is it? Is it a boy or a girl? And you wouldn't say.
I know. I didn't know. I was looking, but at the same time, like, it was a lot of cord, and they ended up finding out that there was a lot of cord.
It was 40 inches of cord.
Yeah, it was really long. I was really just glad that you had the baby, and I just waited to see basically what they had told me.
Yeah.
And it was a boy.
Yeah, they passed him through underneath me, and they were like, you can hold him, he's fine. And I could see it was a boy, and I just like laughed. Like, oh, another boy.
We're good at this, I guess. Boys.
It's exciting.
So we have Leaf. Show him.
I don't want to move him.
He'll be fine. It's okay. You're doing good. You're doing good, buddy. Oh yeah, how big was he?
How big was he?
He was 7.9 pounds. He disagrees.
And 20.5 inches long, and he was born at 8:54 p.m. So the labor was about 6 hours long.
6 hours long. It was the fastest we've ever had.
Yeah, which could be because of a home birth, and I was like really comfortable. Could be because of gentle birth tincture that I was taking. They claim that helps. But I was praying the whole entire pregnancy that I would have faster labor, at least under 12 hours. And God totally answered like that prayer. And even him being 41 weeks, the midwife, when he was born, she kept saying, he doesn't look, like, I'm pretty sure our dates were wrong. He like seems younger than like 41 weeks.
A little bit, just a little bit, but he came kind of.
She was guessing he was more like 38, 39 weeks. So even my prayer that he be born early was technically
true.
Technically true, because he really was wrong. Like the dates were wrong, which I kind of thought they were kind of wrong too, but I still wanted him early. Yeah, I didn't have any postpartum issues or anything, no hemorrhaging or anything, and they just like pretty much. I delivered the placenta like 3 minutes after I had him or something. Like, I could just feel it coming right away. It was that's really fast. I feel it's fast. Anyway, they just like laid me down on this couch, and I feel like our boys were here really soon after.
Yes, everybody got here almost immediately after we had the baby, because Nikki just laid down on the couch, and the boys came in, and we have all that on film, and then her family came in. My family got here really late, but it was a good experience. I mean, I don't know if I would do it again.
No?
Yet.
Oh.
Not anytime soon.
Would you have another home birth?
Yeah.
Over a hospital
probably.
birth?
For your sake, yes. It was good. It was a good experience.
Yeah.
So God bless. Thanks for watching. We do vlog videos, and hopefully we're going to keep doing this, and I do a little blog, and we have fun. So thanks.
Have fun with 3 boys. Yeah.
Anything else you want to add before we close here and the camera dies?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. It was really, really natural, I guess. I don't know.
I think we need to do this more often, in general, just like for stuff. This was fun. Say bye.